and it's HOTR o'clock, or should I say hot o'clock. That's House on the Rock. Well, House on the Rock is an amazing church, phenomenal people, great man of God, Pastor Paul Farasi. I for one have been blessed by that church. I think it was in 2014 thereabouts when I began attending House on the Rock. I'll go to the church, I was worshiping in them in the mornings, then from there go to one of the services at House on the Rock. Then later on, when my ministry began to meet in the evenings on Sunday, so I'll go for meetings in the evenings. I learned a lot. I think I attended up until 2017 or thereabout. I love how House on the Rock teaches that the fact that you know Jesus, the fact that you are grounded in the Word, doesn't mean you should be mediocre. You know, you can know Jesus and be excellent. And I can say this boldly that a sound member of House on the Rock Church, do business with them anywhere, you're excellent at what you do. Yeah. But there are these folks, I don't know if I'm just meeting the wrong set of people. I was having this talk with my wife recently, and I said, I'm going to address this. It's almost as though every month I'll meet someone, in this category. If you fall under this category, please change. These folks that think that, just because you attend a church with blue lights, LED screen, the lights are always, trying to follow the vibe of the music, blue and red, comfortable seats, interlocked pavement and synthetic grass. You have a good place that you take good pictures on Sundays, and all of a sudden you think you are feeding the world. That's just crazy. I just got surprised that some folks, some so-called believers, you relate to them and they're just extremely rude. And the next thing I get to find out, House on the Rock. But the next time I interact with someone of that kind, House on the Rock, another time, House on the Rock, I'm like, come on, what's going on? I, for one, think that these folks are misrepresenting House on the Rock, because I've been there, so I know the spirit of the house. If you feel that by putting others down is how you feel important, it just shows that you're weak and insecure and poor. I've come to realize that it's those category of people that came from the slums and later, began to climb the ladder of success, or maybe think that they are climbing the ladder of success, that have a point to prove. They're the only folks that, hey, Pepe then guy, show those folks that knew me when I was suffering where I came from. They're the ones that always have a thing to prove. But if you're truly wealthy, I have nothing to prove to anyone. I realize that the billionaires, the richest folks of the day, you see, many of them just dress so simple that by your standard, by many people's standard, they're actually out of fashion. But that's just because of the fact that the empty barrel is what makes the most noise. An empty drum, boom! But the drum filled with water, oof, straight up. You don't have anything to prove to anyone. So if you need to always show yourself, it just means that you have nothing. Let's learn from our Master Jesus. He said, I'm meek and lowly in heart. And he said we should learn of him. So a believer must be meek and lowly. Be humble. When people approach you, let them leave you feeling better on themselves. Someone can approach you and leave feeling worse, or even questioning their self-esteem, questioning their worth. That's terrible. So I know those folks in that category, they are not true members of House on the Rock. They are. Stop misrepresenting the church and the man of God, Pastor Paul Farasi. I just thought to let this out and hope it helps.